Okay, so sort of want to do this as a science fiction discussion with a bunch of just hypotheticals from our own personal perspective. And if you're a fan of different sci-fi shorts, this might be a little interesting. But so looking at the situation, we're going to go way into the future into some wild scenarios. And basically, some estimates that southern Nevada gets about 90% of its water from Lake Mead. And we found another caveat. So we thought that the root source is always going to be the ice cap accumulation, snow cap on the Rocky Mountain itself. But allegedly, with the rising ambient temperatures, the soil gets drier apparently, and just by hotter droughts and hotter temperatures which cause droughts, and the hotter temperatures of the ground, just the ground being much hotter than it is, or the ground and air, basically more of the water, the flow, the melt that feeds into the Colorado River, apparently that's just being sucked dry by as the temperatures, basically rise for whatever. But what we want to take a look at is this idea. For example, now we're going to go in sci-fi from a values-based perspective, values-based. So let's just say in 500 years or more, let's just imagine Lake Mead is completely dry. Let's just imagine in a sci-fi scenario, Lake Mead initially reaches dead pool, and 500 years later, the whole thing is dry. So now, the federal government, whatever, there's some type of government agency that oversees water cuts or something like that. From our perspective, we're speaking from our grotesque perspective here. If the lake runs dry completely, then sure, it probably would have a huge impact to Sin City. So without a water supply, it's not going to be able to support a massive, glitzy city, Sin City. But from our perspective, if in 500 years there's no more Sin City, who cares? Who cares? Does it mean that there will be no settlers, no pioneers? Not necessarily, because if you go up all the way to some, rural places, just small rural places in Nevada, they're not going to have the same population size. But the thing is, wildlife will probably be able to adapt and stuff. But the whole thing is that, look, if in 500 years there's no Sin City, this is our opinion, who cares? And boy, back in those days, long after we're gone, there'll probably be some urban explorers or something if the city becomes a ruin. Now, some people call this America's playground, but just thinking, if in a sci-fi scenario 500 years, what an adventure if you can explore the remnants of a ruined city. So has anyone been to the Salton Sea, seen some of the dilapidated, the ghost towns? Apparently there was there was an ecological disaster, and all those resorts, marinas, you can see this in parts of Lake Mead, abandoned marinas, abandoned places, but we don't go there. We're not going to trespass into even abandoned the marinas, because those are technically still like private property or something. But in the Salton Sea, there's these abandoned towns, and that was really cool. So the Salton Sea can still be seen, but there was some type of disaster. But but yeah, if Sin City's gone in 500 years, who cares? Who cares? There will still probably be wildlife. There will still probably be outlying settlements. So basically, nature would return to itself. Basically, you might have small settlements by water sources wherever it supports a settlement or whatnot. But all in all, basically, if there's no more recreation. If there's no more recreation, no more boats, no more skis, no more jet skis, no more party boats, no more dance music, And there's no more Sin City. Maybe that's a tragedy if you love Sin City, if you love gambling or whatnot, but to us, if there's no Sin City, so be it. Because we like these type of we like these type of environments. There's no city, there's no casino, there's no gambling. See, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.